Hey there, here's Jan from Jovo, and today I want to introduce you to our newest feature we call Jovo middleware hooks. Jovo hooks are a lightweight way to hook into certain parts of the Jovo framework architecture in order to extend the Jovo framework in a simple way. You could also understand Jovo hooks as lightweight plugins of the Jovo framework that you can do right in the app logic, right in the app's code. This is how hooks usually look like. So you have app.hook in your app.js file, for example. You define a middleware, and then you have an anonymous function here that is called when this middleware is reached, and then you can do some additional stuff. And so the Jovo framework, when it goes from request to response back to the voice platform, goes through several steps or several layers or middlewares as we call them. And so we have the request comes in and we have the setup middleware. Then afterwards the request is processed, and then it looks if it's a request coming from Alexa or Google, and this is then when the Jovo object is initiated. And so it goes through all these different steps, determines which user it is, gets the data from the database, and then the handler is executed. So this is then when it goes through your code, through your intents and states and so on. And then afterwards, all the way down here, it uses all the information you specified in your handlers, creates a response JSON for either Alexa or Google Assistant, and then sends it back to the platform in the response middleware. And so this is the request and response lifecycle of Jovo voice apps. And with hooks, you can specify middlewares where you want to do certain things. And I brought a little example which you can also find in our docs. And the example is maybe we already coded our complete app. I have a Hello World app, for example, but then I want to experiment with different voices. And Alexa now offers a built-in integration into Amazon Polly, which you can use by adding a specific SSML tag, a voice tag. You can find more here in the SSML reference by Amazon. And so you have a voice tag here, and use all these poly voices by just wrapping the output in a voice. And so what if we want to have all our output with different voices and test different voices? We could do this by using a hook. So this hook would plug into the platform output or the response middlewares. And so the platform output middleware takes the Jovo output object, which is created during your handler by using tell, ask, adding visual output, and so on, and then turns that into a platform-specific response JSON. And if you want to learn more about the Jovo output object, which we're going to use, you can find it here. And so the output object contains something like this, which is just a cross-platform abstraction for the response that is later created. Then after it is created, after it has gone through the platform output middleware, the response then looks like this for Alexa, and for example like this for Google Assistant. And so the output object really helps us to abstract what we want to do without having to care a lot about the response that is later sent back to Alexa or Google Assistant. So for example, what this code snippet here does, it hooks into the before platform output, and then afterwards it adds a voice to only the Alexa skill output object. And so we can, for example, we can go into the code, use app.hook, and then before platform output, pass this anonymous function here, and for now just log the output method to see how it looks like. And I'm using the console DD, which is a Jovo feature, which it just dies after logging so that we can easier find this. And so for example, let's do Jovo run. Let's do it again. So you can see it doesn't send this, and you can find it here. You can find that it shows the output object here. And so what we can do here, if it's an ask, we need to access the speech and the reprompt here and replace it. And this is what this does. And so we can do this now. We can define a poly voice, and then if it's an Alexa skill, if it's a tell, just replace the speech. If it's an ask, replace the reprompt as well. So, and this is really just a demo. You can basically overwrite anything. And so let's run it again. I type in launch again, you can find it already here in the output, or here in the response JSON. You can find that we have the voice tag here. And so let's use a US voice. Let's say it's Ivy, for example. Run the Jovo webhook again. Alexa, open my test app.
Hello world, what's your name?
Okay, stop. Or we can use Joanna. Alexa, open my test app.
Hello world, what's your name?
My name is John.
Hey John, nice to meet you.
Okay, so this is how you can use Jovo middleware hooks to easily extend certain parts of the Jovo framework, for example, to use different poly voices. And that's it. If you want to learn more about it, you can find more in the docs, and let us know in the comments or in our Slack community if you want to learn more. See you soon.